What is your position title?
I'm the director of basketball operations for North Carolina Central University men's basketball team.
Describe your major activities during a typical work week.
Right now, we're in kind of like the planning process for the season, so you're dealing with booking travel, booking charter buses, booking flights, hotels, and that's just dealing with travel. You're also dealing with equipment coming in, so you have to organize that. Um, and also, for me, I have media projects, so content for social media, videos, pictures. So that's just a typical week.
What skills, abilities, and personal qualities do you find most important in your work?
I think you have to have good personal skills, so you need to be good with people. You need to make people feel comfortable dealing with you. I think that's big when you're in my position. You need to be organized and efficient. I think those are the biggest keys.
How did you enter this field?
I came in from the University of Houston, spent 3 years there. I was a graduate assistant my first year, then I moved to a player development role. And through doing that, just in the coaching gaming period, you make different connections. And this summer, when a position opened up here, I was able to use those connections to get on staff here. It's a different role for me, but it's something I embrace just because I know it's going to lead to where I want to go within this.
What preparation did you have? For example, classes, activities, and experience.
To be completely honest, I had no preparation for this job. This is a completely different role than I've been accustomed to. So I can honestly say I'm learning on the fly, but it's going well.
What academic major would you recommend as preparation for your field?
That's a tough question just because I know a lot of dobos, and I don't necessarily feel like there is like a set major that prepares you for this. I have a master's in sports administration, so I feel like if you're going to do something, that would be the lane, just because you're on the administrative side of stuff, which I kind of am in sports. So sports administration, I would assume.
Are there specific courses you would recommend?
Probably, but I was in grad school like a while back, not too long, but a while back. So I just can't really remember the courses, but anything within that field that I would recommend.
What types of experience would you recommend for preparation for this type of work?
Um, you could. What was the question again?
What type of experience, paid or unpaid, would you recommend for preparation for this type of work?
I tell anybody if you really want to get into the game, and this is all just a revolving door of relationships and building on things like that. Start as a manager. If you can skip the manager part, go straight to being a graduate assistant. When you're a graduate assistant, you literally have all the responsibilities but none at the same time. So there's nothing that you aren't asked to do. Your job is basically to do whatever the assistant coaches, the video coordinator, the dobo, or the head coach needs you to do, and that kind of prepares you for what you could end up potentially dealing with. During my time at Houston, I did a lot of everything. So yeah.
How rapidly is this career field growing?
That's tough. I mean, I think everything's always growing, everything's always expanding. But at the end of the day, there's still only 350 Division I schools. There's only going to be 350 dobos. There's one of these positions at every university. So it's ever expanding in a way, but it's also kind of staying the same because schools aren't getting added every year. But there is movement every summer in the coaching game. Nobody just stays where they're at. Everybody moves to go somewhere. So there's always an opportunity somewhere.
How would you describe future prospects in the field?
Could you elaborate for me?
Um, how would you describe your like where you can go from this?
Oh, I mean, well, just to take my own experience, I want to be a head coach one day, and so just going through the natural progression of things. Everybody who I've studied under or been under or who's taught me in this game has had a very similar upbringing. I kind of look at this whole thing like it's a fraternity. So like once you're in, but you have to get in first, and so you go from being a graduate assistant then oftentimes you end up taking a role similar to this, graduate assistant to Dobo, Dobo to assistant, assistant to head coach. And that's not going to happen like year after year. There's going to be some years in between where you kind of have to build on things, but that can be the natural progression of the way things go.
Do you recommend any professional associations for this field?
Not necessarily, no, but there is like a membership. I think it's the NABC. Don't quote me on that. I probably got that all messed up, but it's something similar to that, where when you go to the Final Four every year, you're a member of that. Most coaches are. You pay a little $300 membership fee, but you get to attend all the seminars at the Final Four. And the Final Four is where you can actually find a job. You know, when I was looking for work after my second year at Houston, I went to the Final Four. It was in San Antonio. Got offered a few jobs. They just didn't make sense, so I returned to Houston. But, you know, if you're hungry enough and actually are personable enough, then that's a good place for you to start. You know, make your way to the Final Four, make connections with people, introduce yourself to people. And you never know, you get in front of the right people, you have dinner with the right person, you can have a job.
Do you see any new trends in this career field?
There's a lot of new businesses that help with travel, that help with scheduling games. Scheduling games is another one of my responsibilities. And that's always helpful. So those things are trending because you don't have to pay for them. And then nobody is, they don't need a percentage from you. They kind of work in back end deals with the people they connect you with. So that's a trend. Social media is always a trend. Something's always changing on that. At larger universities, you have more people, so roles don't merge. At smaller universities, you have to be good at doing 3, 4, 5 things. You can't just do one thing. But at large universities, there's a person designated to video coordinating. There's somebody designated to social media. There's only one person doing marketing. Like, everybody has their role, and that's all they do. At smaller universities, though, you have to be able to multitask and do a variety of different things.
How would these trends affect someone trying to enter the field?
I just think it creates more opportunity. You know, I tell people if you're not offended by it, learning video is always a good trend in this business, because whether you're on somebody's staff or not, there's always somebody looking to have a video made. There's always somebody looking to get a mixtape out. And if you're good enough at it, you could find work. I've known 2 guys from my previous job who weren't natural video coordinators that learned the skill within a year, and they're both in the NBA now. So, you know, that's those type of opportunities. But if you want to just focus on being a coach, it's a little bit more of a grind, but it's also more rewarding in the end.
Any other suggestions for someone trying to enter the field?
Nah, man, I just say be on top of things. If you're gonna do something, do it right. Learn that the small task and the large task are the same thing. And once you learn how to master the little things, all the other stuff will kind of fall in line.
What do you like most about your job?
I'm a basketball guy, so just the natural answer there would be just being around basketball every day. The thing I've had to adjust to with this role, going from player development to this, is the lack of on-court activity. And I think if that's what I've missed the most, but I'm always going to be grateful just to be able to be connected to the game. So, that's it.
What days and hours do you work, and how does your work affect your lifestyle?
7 days a week. I can't say 365, but I legitimately, I've been in this job for 4 months. I think I've missed 1 day of work, and I've probably talked to my head coach every day, no matter what day it is. So, and for an operations guy, you're gonna work a lot. But you also make your money in the summer, in my opinion. That's when you're planning travel, booking everything. Once you hit December, everything should be rolling like clockwork because you put in the preparation already.
What needs to be included for a strong resume and cover letter for this kind of position?
Now, resumes are tricky nowadays because it's really about who are your references. I don't really know how much people pay attention to your actual accomplishments. That's not to discourage anybody from having a strong resume, but you know, it's really going to be about, at the end of the day, who can they call, who can vouch for you, and who can make the person that's hiring you feel comfortable about hiring you. That's really the key in this business. It's not always the person who is the most professionally developed, or sometimes even the best person for the job. Is genuinely who the head coach feels comfortable hiring, and that goes back again to making connections within the coaching world.
All right, so